tell us if, for outside of you three, and then, of course, the side folks, you're the only people on stage that day. So someone's watching the video after all these years, whether they saw it back in '84, the VHS version, or the DVD, or on YouTube, wherever. What is something you could not know unless you were on stage like you were? What is something you had to be on stage to understand about that day, May 29th, 1983?
Oh, boy, that's a good question. I guess the fact that it was an extraordinary situation, I think, for all the bands, because nobody had played a show that big with that many people. So it was really a television show because you had no connection with the fans. Usually you've got, you play in an arena or even a stadium. Your nearest fans are 25 feet away, kind of. These were like 50, 60, 70 feet away from the stage. So you had no real connection. You couldn't. They could be screaming, you wouldn't hear them. So it's like you could see hands in the air. That was okay, which is always good to see. But it was a TV show, so you're there, and you've got 30 cameras all over the place, going back and forth, and on stage and everywhere. So I think the fact that it felt like you were playing this massive TV show. The only way you do that was by being on stage.
The thing that really struck me watching that whole concert is the interaction with the fans, and I'm watching all three of you engaging, and Rick during his solo and all the facial gestures and everything that's going on, and then trying to figure with that gap that's there, and there's also shade on them from the stage before all this, and it goes way back. Did you try anything to understanding it was like a TV show, as you're just saying? How did you feel you were getting some sort of feedback? How do you know when there's that extra layer of space and all these other things kind of in front of you, beams and cranes moving in front of you?
Well, you didn't suck because nobody threw anything at you. That was for sure a big point in life.
It's good.
Of any band, you don't want people throwing rotten tomatoes at you. So it was good. We knew we played really well. We were hot right from the get-go. We're looking at each other. Boy, we usually play with production. With the big lights and all the effects and all that. So playing a daylight show was fun for us because we didn't have to worry about any of that junk. You had to be in a certain position on the stage and all that. You could just go let loose and have a good time. And once we realized there was one large TV show really for the audience, you got to relax. You didn't feel tense anymore. And from the audience point of view, you could tell that. Just kidding around about throwing stuff because nobody ever throws stuff at bands. But I hope the fact that you could see them, the girls on top of guys' shoulders, and they're waving and yelling and smiling and laughing. You couldn't hear them, but you could see their lips were moving, so that was good.
Right. Ideally, they know the songs. That's a plus. Was there a certain point, either during the show, or even when you're coming in and you see the crowd, or later on as the day is grasped, when you realized this really was different, we need to capture this? Because Triumph, I believe, has gone further than really any other act in memorializing their set at the US Festival. When did that crystallize with you guys and go, okay, this really was that special?
Well, it was actually before the show, well before, when our agent, I guess, negotiated the deal. He also insisted that we owned our own footage. The US Festival people I think they got to broadcast it two times, and then they couldn't use our performance anymore. And they sent us all the tapes and all the video, all the audio, et cetera, et cetera. And that's because we wanted to memorialize that performance for the band, for our uses. And nobody else's agent thought of getting the rights to the footage.
Aha. What was your favorite song to perform in that set that afternoon?
Nashville, probably Fight the Good Fight.
Yeah.
I would go. That song was always a great song to play live because you could really let loose with it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to play, and it was a classic Triumph song, and it lights everybody up. When you play that song, then you get the roar. Although you couldn't tell at the S Festival, but you knew there was a roar when we started it. It's just one of those. It's a signature Triumph song.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk. Get you back on the schedule here with the rest of the radio tour. But check out the YouTube chat later on and get some more tidbits on that, because it's always fascinating to look back on that sort of stuff. Mike, thanks for taking some time to chat with us up here in Wisconsin this morning.
Okay, great. Thank you, Luke.